I know, 28 degrees, right? I know. I have all my, yeah, I have all my pansies out and I'm gonna have to bring them all.
Yeah.
Hi, Brian. Is this your phone?
Everybody, please rise for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The one is actually. It's not here.
Okay.
So I don't know who he's
Minutes.
Sign of the March town clerk's report and the March 19th town, board minutes with the.
With their changes.
Can I get a motion to approve these?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor? Bills?
General bill 22329 through 22363, highway 22365 through 22377, and water bill 381 through 388.
Can I get a motion to approve the bills?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Warren? Nothing. Okay.
What?
We're gonna open the public comment. One thing I have to say is thank you, Carl and Rich, for the repairs you're making out back here to the ramp. Looks a lot better, a lot safer. Anybody else have anything on the board?
I was gonna piggyback on Brian to say thank you, Carl, too, because but also the summer camp registration is currently open online, and you can come in-town residents only right now, and you can come in to pay into the clerk's office, and I believe you could pay online. And the camp starts July 6th and runs those 6 consecutive weeks.
And so how will people find that on the website? Because some people are having a difficult time.
It's under the recreation page. Once you go there, it's just on the HayGov and it'll take you to all the active things that are happening.
So can that be posted on the homepage so that people know how to get to it?
Yeah, I can ask the manager.
Thank you.
Does anybody else have anything?
I just want to say again that the library, the Friends of the Library are having their annual book sale. And you can drop off books during library hours from April 11th, which has passed, to May 9th. Only books in good condition, no textbooks or outdated material or damaged books.
That all you have?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else? All right, we're gonna open to the floor. I know Nelson Zayas is here. He wants to do a quick little presentation.
Hello,
Hi, Nelson.
Elias, North Main Street. But I'm here tonight as your second lieutenant for the Pine Plains Rescue Squad, which is part of the Pine Plains Host Company. Over the last year and a half, there's been a few articles in the local papers discussing EMS response times. I've been looking at those articles, and the statistics that I see kind of didn't sit right with me with my experience with the squad. So what I started to do this year from the very first January 1st was to start tracking all the calls. So that's what I want to present to you tonight, the first quarter statistics. And what I ask is, after I present tonight, keep the papers that I'm going to give you, and when the official statistics come out, compare them to what I'm presenting tonight. And if there's a discrepancy, ask why, is it something I'm doing wrong? Is it something they're doing wrong, or what's going on?
And then
So-
statistics would come from where, Nelson?
I believe the county, it's my understanding. So let me just explain how I kind of set this up here. The first column are the call numbers. You'll notice that after call 34, there's a blank line. That's because that's where January ends. So after call 71, that's where February ends. You'll also notice some colors in that first column. The orange calls are fire calls. So those are calls where the ambulance are not dispatched. Automatic fire alarms, maybe smell of propane or something like that. So those do not factor into the statistics for EMS response. The reddish or pinkish in the first column are calls that are going to go on record as we did not respond to. There are two statistics that bothered me the most when those statistics come out. One of them is the percentage of calls that Pine Plains is not responding to. It's been pretty consistent around 25%. So they're saying 1 out of every 4 calls we're not responding. So I'm here to kind of explain some things that go along with those numbers tonight. And then the other number was our response time for priority 1. When a call comes in, the dispatcher assigns it a priority number based on what they feel is the severity of what they're hearing on the call. Priority 1 are the most serious calls, down to priority 4. So one of the statistics that the county puts out are our response time for priority 1. They want to see 9-minute response. I always thought that was a national standard. I was just at a meeting Tuesday, I think, with Empress. Chris Drago was there, and that there was a state representative, someone from the state there, and they said that there is no national standard. So I don't know where that 9-minute comes from, but everyone seems to use it, so I'll be using that tonight also. All right, so that takes care of column 1. Column 2 is the dates. Column 3 are the priority 1 response times. The next column are priority 2 through 4. We're not really going to spend a lot of time on those. So if we go to call number, on the priority 1, you'll also see some red cells there. Those are priority 1s that are greater than 9 minutes. So you see there were, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in January, 2 in February, none in March. So I want to go through some specific calls so you kind of see what's factoring into some of these numbers and why the numbers may seem high when, in my opinion, they're not really reflecting what's really happening. So if we go to call 22, you see it's marked red as if we did not respond. A Pine Plains hose company member was on scene. It was what we call a lift assist. Maybe someone just fell out of bed, just needed to be put back in bed. So that was taken care of. The situation was remedied. The ambulance was canceled before it responded to the scene. Yeah. It's going to be marked down as if we did not respond. Okay? Why? Because what counts is the ambulance on the scene.
Okay.
So again, this is why I want you to understand when you see these numbers, what's going on. Let's look at call number 24. You have a 17-minute response time for a priority 1 call. Well, the ambulance was at Northern Dutchess because if you look at call number 23, the ambulance had just dropped off a patient to Northern Dutchess, and we got dispatched for this priority 1 call. 17-minute, 8-second response time. We still beat NDP, who was also dispatched. When it's a priority 1, not only do they dispatch the local unit, but they also dispatch, I guess now it's Empress. So they were dispatched, and we still beat them. But again, that's we're not going to make 9 minutes coming from Northern Dutchess, okay? Call number 34. Another one where it wasn't a priority 1, but again, it was one where we got put out of service before we arrived. I forget the details. It's possible that Empress got there before us and then canceled us. But we were, en route, we were responding, but because we got canceled before we picked up that radio and said we're on scene, it's going to go down as we did not respond. Call number 45. I think I may have this, let's see. 46, call 46. Priority 1 call, the ambulance got there in 7 minutes, 58 seconds under the 9 minutes. However, there was a Pine Plains EMT already on the scene before the ambulance. got there. So even though on the official time is gonna be 7 minutes and 58 seconds, we had an EMT on the scene before that. Okay,
Is that what the green is?
green
What is
is,
the green?
green
Just a
is
cup.
that I'm talking to you about these calls.
Just a comment.
12:40. 48. Another one where it wasn't a priority one, 8 minute, 7 minute response, 8 minute, 7 second response time for priority 3. Someone who, young man who unfortunately amputated 2 of his fingers. I don't know why it was dispatched as a priority 3, okay? That's a separate issue, but we got there, the ambulance got there before 9 minutes, 8 minutes and 7 seconds. By the time the ambulance got there, the patient wound was wrapped. They were walking the patient out to the ambulance. Okay, but again, that's not reflected in this. Number 50, similar situation, a priority 2 call, 8 minutes, 19 seconds response for the ambulance. We had a Pine Plains EMT already on the scene, you know, even ahead of that. Call 53 bothers me the most, because it was a priority 1 call. The EMT, who shall not be named, forgot to call on scene when they arrived on the scene. The call was dispatched at 15:04:53. The ambulance was en route at 15:08:52, so kind of 4 minutes to get on the road. The call was to Storybook. You're talking about a 1 minute, so you're talking about a 5 minute response time. I put in my notes 5.5 minutes, but because I did not, EMT did not call on scene, and actually it was an ALS call that the paramedics showed up on scene and they transported. So there's like no record of us ever being there. So it shows up as we did not respond. Call number 66. 7 minute response time. We had a Pine Plains EMT that went to the scene. It was another lift assist, so no ambulance was needed. But again, it's going to go on the record as we did not respond. Call number 76. Priority 1, 7 minute, 23 second response time for the ambulance. Okay, so this is an interesting one. The patient calls the EMT, says that they have bleeding, they can't stop, they're on a blood thinner. The EMT, who lives 3 houses away, goes to the scene, has the wife call 911 so that the ambulance is dispatched. The ambulance gets there, as you see, in 7 minutes and 23 seconds. However, the on-scene time was less than a minute. By the time the ambulance got there, the bleeding was controlled, the wound was treated and wrapped. Patient actually never went to the hospital. But again, not a true reflection of what's really going on. And then call number 99, the last call for the quarter. The ambulance was at Vassar. There's no way that we can respond to this call, so it shows up as we did not respond to the call, even though we had a Pine Plains EMT on the scene. And I believe another member of the host company was on the scene. So based on that, I get, looks like 13 calls out of 73 EMS calls that are going to go on the record as we did not respond. I come out to 17.8% for that. I would argue that the true number is really more 8 out of the 73, which is 12.3%. So, I mean, I don't know if you have any questions, but again, I want you to understand what goes into the numbers, because I don't think that's really made clear. I think in the last article, there was a mention about if the ambulance is not there, but I don't think they really explained it like I'm explaining to you. You're saying, wow, what? So I take it that you didn't know that. Right. And I think most people don't know that.
No,
So
you're
they-
referring to a newspaper article?
Yes.
Did the newspaper interview you?
No.
Okay.
No, they get the numbers, I guess, from county. They're reporting from county, so it's not their fault. They're reporting what they get from county.
So what county, so touch on what Nelson's saying too, what county is also not taking into account, like Nelson said, if we have a member on the scene already. It's the ambulance numbers that they're going with.
Right.
So I think, basically, I'm here to tell you and the community that I think Pine Plains is doing a pretty darn good job at responding to calls and utilizing our manpower so that at times we send the EMT right to the scene. You know, sometimes it doesn't make sense, there was a call at the Stissing house. I'm passing by the Stissing house, so I'm gonna say bye, go to the firehouse to get the ambulance. When I can jump out, I got everything in my car that I need,
Right.
other than a stretcher,
Right.
and the
Oh,
meds,
yeah,
and I have oxygen, I have everything I need, to treat most calls.
So,
but-
the county, could the county, or could we talk with the county, the commissioner, about figuring out a way that the data can capture when there's an EMT on the scene because
Good luck.
of,
I mean, I would
So-
love to see that because I think it's a true reflection of
yeah,
the medical help being brought
Yes.
to the patient. These numbers don't really reflect when the medical person is on the scene.
so I went to, a presentation that Northwell did. I don't know if you were there at the Milan Town Hall. You were there.
No,
And they said that the commissioner of EMS was going to visit each town, town board meeting for, I don't know, a presentation, to field questions or something like that. If we move forward with that, I think that would maybe be a good time to have this conversation. And because we're a rural town and our EMTs live next door to the person or whatever that's in need, I think that that's data that should be captured. And so maybe we can have that conversation.
and at the last board meeting I was at, I think on at least 3 separate occasions, it was mentioned, brought to the public to join some of the committees you have. I think the Beautification Committee was mentioned last time, the Ethics Committee might have been mentioned. So think about helping us out at the hose
Yeah.
company, you can just be a driver, you don't have to, we'll train you to be an EMT if you want, but you can be a driver, we have an auxiliary. I was at a fire last night from midnight to 4 a.m. The auxiliary was there, handing out water bottles and snacks. So if that's what what you can do to help out the community, it's a volunteer, help support your community. Sorry.
I mean, you went above and beyond to put this together, and I was just gonna ask you, there's one piece of data like time of the call. Does that factor into
The
like
response time.
not the response time, the actual time that the call was
Time of
made?
day.
So if
Whether these are day calls or night calls?
yeah, I mean
I have to go.
it would be interesting to look at if that correlates with response time
Yeah.
too, or can you speak to that?
I think it was last April, we implemented a night coverage.
Okay.
So we have EMTs on call every night to cover,
Yeah.
night calls.
But I was just curious if off the top of your head, if you could look at some of the longer calls where
I have to scroll
at
through.
2:30 in the morning or
So
something
you
like
can
that.
imagine scrolling through 100 calls to try to find.
these
You
are
can go by the time.
this is the top.
What about other communities, fire districts?
Oh, this is the mid. Oh, this is the roof.
I suspect Mylan is dealing with the same thing. I thought I read in an article that the Mylan rescue or the fire chief, someone mentioned that they have a lot of their members with stuff in their vehicles, so they
Yeah.
kind of use this fly cart concept
Mhm.
to get to the scene right away, but the ambulance is not getting there. Possibly that's why Mylan's numbers also seem, poor, but I can't speak.
We're really, Pine Plains is really the only, there's 4 of us that don't have paid contracts, paid service right now. It's us, Mylan, Red Hook, and Rhinebeck.
Was that a 2-hour meeting the other night where they basically
Tiffany doesn't-
said they've
Yeah,
made it
they're
a
part
point
of-
that they don't have a
their own department.
contract and it's
They're
not
still part of Red
sustainable
Hook.
for them, that's Empress. I don't know.
Yeah.
What was it, Pine Plains, Mylan?
Pine Plains, Mylan, Red Hook, Rhinebeck, and Tivoli.
So, do you think there is value in inviting the commissioner so that we can have this conversation and understand where the data is coming from? Because like right now, they've
They
only,
know because they're using the same, it's not like they're treating Pine Plains different than anyone else, so they know this, they know that what counts is the ambulance on the scene. Now, because we're a volunteer community and we don't have someone sitting in an ambulance that's gonna respond to
Right.
every call. That's why those numbers are better when you look at those.
I don't think it's unreasonable to ask them if there's a way they can capture that data.
Yeah, I would love to see that. because
And
if
then,
that-
and that might really tell us a lot more.
Yeah.
Because right now, they haven't even come out with the first quarter of their statistics, correct?
I
Correct.
bet those.
The only thing that we have is their Q4, the fourth quarter of 2025.
Okay.
So,
You'll
and-
get them in the end of May.
okay.
Usually that's the way.
So I think once you get that, and I don't know what it looks like. Does it look like this?
No, but you'll see the column where it says priority one response, and it'll say, or it has all the towns, so it'll say Pine Plains. And oh, I didn't give you
Can
that,
you
I didn't give you that number. So based on my calculations, for 23 priority one calls. And it hurt me to not count that 5-minute one, but I said, all right, I won't count it. But I get a 9-minute, 27-second response time for priority one. So I'd be interested to see what they come up with when they come out with the stats, because I'm using, I put we put Pine Plains as not responding to all those calls, even though I explained what happened.
Yeah.
So if the numbers don't match, hold on to these papers. If the numbers don't match, ask questions.
Right. And so maybe May would be a good time to have that conversation.
Yeah.
When their data comes out and we can compare it. Are you going to continue to do this
Absolutely.
data?
How do we trust that you know anything about statistics?
Like the number be anything.
Yes.
All right, so that's what I had.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nelson. There. All right, we'll open the floor at this time.
Hello, my name's Eric. I went to the.
You come stand over here.
Just so you get caught in the camera.
That way you get to smile for the camera.
So I was with some friends that I do business with, and they were looking at purchasing a parcel in Pine Plains, the old restaurant over across by Stewart's. They went to the zoning board to discuss possibilities for the acquisition and starting a business there. The planning board came up with, there's 2 different zones for this parcel. They said that the town does not do that on purpose and that they didn't want to do that. And Attorney Raplansky pointed out to them that if there is 2 zones on a parcel, it is the most constrictive zone that then is enforced on that parcel. And they also stated that this has been fixed in the past. So I have all of the information for the parcel and that you need. And we're just hoping that you can change it to just be one zone for the parcel, like all the other parcels in Pine Plains. Any questions about it?
What are the 2 zones?
Main Street and residential.
Main
So I
Street,
assume the
Main,
residential is.
Main Street goes out that way.
Yeah. It's the last one.
And this parcel is not subdivided. It is in fact one
Correct.
parcel.
383
Okay.
acres. All one parcel.
Been there, done that.
That last map you just had?
Yeah.
When is it?
Existing zoning, the existing zoning is residential.
Warren, what's this
Or
take for?
Hamlet residential. The proposed zoning,
We'd have to do an amendment to our zoning code.
This is-
An amendment to the zoning map. And I think it's the front parcel.
Yes.
so according to this map you have here, there's existing zoning districts and then there's proposed zoning districts. So the proposed zoning district is what you're discussing right now. The existing zoning district says it's Hamlet residential.
The whole parcel?
According to this map he has right here.
What's this?
This is the zoning from the Dutchess County that we've.
Yeah.
submitted.
Okay, so it was changed. When was that changed?
When did we do that? 2024,
Mm,
3 maybe?
Yeah,
So do you
I
have it as
haven't
two
done it.
zones?
Yep.
Yeah,
So does
so
the
this,
Gibson.
so
And what are they?
Like,
The front part is,
Hamlet Main Street. And then the back part is Hamlet Residential.
Yep.
I don't know why that would ever have been split up if it was one.
it's a mistake.
it's not a good idea.
No,
It's not an easy fix, but it can be done, and the question is whether. You wanna have the property owner make application to the town board. In which case the property owner will be responsible for the costs of the rezoning. Or whether you wanna do it on your own. Volition with a recommendation perhaps from the planning board.
I think that's probably the route,
I
because
think
the
that-
planning board is in support of this,
They
and
are.
they have contacted us.
They are, yes.
Yeah.
Well, let's actually ask. What's the time frame for both ways?
Yeah.
Which would be faster, which would fit in their schedule a lot easier?
Well, it'll be much easier for them if the town board does it.
Yeah.
Because of
Okay.
the cost.
Anybody here think it's a bad idea?
I don't even know how it got. decided like
So
that.
is it simply us making a motion?
No, I'd have to talk to the planning board and ask the planning board. Make a recommendation to the town board
Okay,
for rezoning of the parcel. To merge into the less restricted zone, the front zone. And then I could do a local law. On the motion of the town board. We would bear the expenses, getting everything done. And there'd be a public hearing. An environmental review, which I don't anticipate would be terribly complex. And after the public hearing, you could vote on whether to change the zoning map.
So is that something then that we could put together and sum up for next month?
Well, I can speak to the planning board
mhm,
about getting a recommendation to you so that you understand what the process is and
Yeah.
what the recommendation is. Because there are different ways in our zoning code of amending our code or the zoning map.
Mhm.
And one is by application of a property owner, the other is the town board on its own volition. That would be much simpler.
So
So-
you're probably looking at June because of the public hearing and everything else for him to get us to
Yeah,
accept it and then.
We could do it.
well,
But-
couldn't you set the public hearing, if you're gonna prepare that for the May meeting, couldn't you set the public hearing for the May meeting as well? So that we don't have to do,
True.
you know,
I was coming.
review and then wait a
That's
month for
getting a
public.
little- Let me look over the process.
We can do this.
We can-
Well, we also,
We can
Because
do,
we
It also
somebody
depends on
encouraged
the
us to bring
review, the
something good to
environmental
the next- we all
Depends on how long that
basically-
takes.
It's a great idea, so.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know what the temper is of the planning board.
We do.
Not
I do.
application.
I do.
they've spoken to,
They
at
spoke
least
to us
me,
and they're like, do it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Was it clear that if we adopt the zoning for the less restrictive parcel, that this would be permitted in the
Yes.
on the newly merged?
Yes.
Okay, let me work on it, and I'll contact the planning board and see how we can expedite the process.
Excellent. Thank you, Warren.
Perfect.
At least possibly have a local law ready to introduce instead of public hearing.
Yes.
And then, yeah.
60 days timeframe is very quick anyway. I
Yeah.
don't think you have to rush for a 30-day timeframe as far as helping anyone.
Dude, I'm working, trying to get something done.
If I remember correctly.
Wheels of government go a little too slowly at times, so.
Correctly, you haven't purchased them.
Correct. Yeah.
This is a
We just wanted to
determinant
bring it
in the
because whether
process.
it is purchased or not, we
Right.
feel like it's good for planning.
Yep.
I mean, we.
Yeah, yeah,
we
it's
have
good
to
for whoever is
consider-
gonna
We
purchase
kind of
it.
feel that way too.
Yeah, yeah.
So.
Go figure.
So, I mean, in order to avoid spot zoning, there are certain things that have to be done in how we characterize
Okay,
the process. But it's much better if we can do
Yeah.
it to the town board without having.
Perfect.
Well, we trust that in our best interest, you will find a way through this. Or
There's always a way.
there's a will, so.
There's a will. Yeah. I'll work
Excellent.
on it.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Good night.
Do you want us to hold on to this or do you want this back?
You can have that.
Okay.
Eric, what is your last name?
Mortensen, Mortenson.
Is that,
SON.
Thank you.
make a copy of that, so.
Anybody else? Okay. Move into department reports, highway.
Shoulder, started saying shoulder. Got the road plate left. Waiting on the company to come and pick up the boots. Great. Started the shoulder work. Brush pile has been chipped and dispersed. We did save some chips for residents if they want to come pick some up. It's up on the back side where we normally keep it. Here. We're looking for gonna need to put out an ad for secretary. I think, board will be discussing that later. And, that's, about all I have on my, my list.
Thank you, Carl. Did everybody receive the building inspector's report?
Yeah.
Looks like total of 0 new homes this year, 1 CO search this month, 11 site inspections this month, property maintenance issues this month, 3 COs this month issued, 9, and total permits to date 11.
Any updates on the telephone poles?
I haven't heard any updates.
And
So,
I
I'll
did see
reach
him
out to him
passing
tomorrow.
somewhere and he mentioned like after the last meeting, it's kind of going slow.
Yeah.
They're not really moving along with it. Wonder how we jog them.
By start having Warren send a letter to him.
Can I start charging them?
Yeah, what did, what was the last that we got from our zoning enforcement officer? Did he issue a report on the status of that?
He said they took a couple down before winter hit and then it got with the large snowbanks. He wasn't kind of pressing the issue because it was hard to get him out. And then now that the weather was getting better, he was gonna reach back out to him. I haven't heard whether he's reached back out to him or not.
If you could ask him to give me an update on.
Yep.
The enforcement.
Carl?
I could advise them on where.
My understanding is that they're going to be getting started back up on that in the next week or so.
Okay.
Oh, if you see something, just, can you send us an email or something? We're thinking this is dragging on a little bit too long. Thank you.
Water engineer.
Monthly report was submitted to the Department of Health. The average daily flow remains elevated, although I do believe that we're heading in the right direction. One water meter head was replaced during the last month. 2 utility markouts were performed. There were 2 water leaks that were found. One was found on a water service line back on April 6th that serves the building on the north end of Poplar Avenue. So the leak is located between the curb shut off and the building itself. So the owner's been notified of that, and so we've turned off the water. They're in the process of getting a contractor in to try to replace that in its entirety. This past Sunday, a second water leak was found on Poplar. Again, water leak was found between the curb shut off and the building. So the water shut off was turned off to the building. They started making a repair Sunday as far as replacement of the line and sheared off the corporation at the water main. So therefore that had to be replaced prior to
So
the water line being completed. So
Is
we took care of that issue. And before the end of the day, they moved forward and actually got their water line installed.
you think these leaks are caused by freezing?
Yes. Yeah, well, 2 things. Primarily, all of leaks that we found within the past, and again, now this is our 5th. So the 5 that we found are all galvanized lines. So again, old galvanized lines that are very brittle, very corroded because they've been in the ground for well over 50 years in many instances. And secondly, all the leaks that we have found have been under pavement or areas that are normally getting plowed. So again, with the very cold weather that we had, they don't have the snow cover, so all of that frost penetrates right down through the ground and has caused those leaks to occur. So yes, I do, that's a big portion of what's taking place. Again, this has been an old-fashioned winter. We haven't had one like this probably in about 10 years. But we've been lucky, but it's catching on to us. So I'm also tracking down an additional leak on the north end of the town on North Main Street. So I may have to get more water to have them try to pinpoint that location. I've reached out to them. They've been dealing with a lot of emergencies. This one is not an emergency, but again, to try to get them in within the next month, just try to locate that location.
Are we losing a lot of water off of that?
Not as bad as the ones that we've been finding. I'm still sitting at about 15,000 gallons a day higher than I normally would be.
Yeah.
At one time I was up over 100,000 gallons, you know,
Yeah.
where traditionally we're sitting anywhere between 55 to 65. I was sitting up closer to 100, just over 100,000 gallons a day until we found these and started fixing them. So right now we're sitting at about 74,000 for the first part of this, actually right after this Sunday. This week, we're sitting at about 74,000 gallons.
Okay.
So like I said, we're heading in the right direction. If I had to guess, this other week's probably about 10,000 gallons a day.
Wow.
Which isn't much. I mean, although it sounds like literally a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch hole is going to be about 10,000 gallons.
Isn't that like a swimming pool's worth of water?
Yeah. But that small of a hole, it's at 55 pounds is gonna give you about 10,000 gallons.
Wow.
But, so it doesn't take much as far as losing water. I also attended a American Waterworks Association conference just yesterday to obtain some additional continuing education credits. Topics included new PFAS and PFOS requirements as far as sampling. So although Pine Plains and our water system has not been detected as far as any of those forever chemicals, we actually had a three-year waiver that was provided through Dutchess County because we were meeting the New York State requirements. EPA has now come in with their own regulations, which don't match New York's. So we have to start this process all over again. So we are required to take 2 samples within the next 5 to 7 months, with the first one taking place before the end of June. So we're gonna take one in June, and then we'll take another one in June. The new lead and copper rules are also coming into play. Those regulations are slated to take effect November 1st in 2027. That's bringing the lead content within the water sampling from 15 parts per billion down to 10 parts per billion. They are also looking at requiring multiple samples being taken from the same source, which means that at a particular residence, we used to just take a 1 liter sample. Now they want us to take a 1 liter sample as well as what's known as a 5 liter sample. So we're going to let the water run for 2 minutes, then take an additional sample because they want to see what's taking place within the plumbing of the house, but then also that water that was sitting in the service line to see whether that's carrying lead into the house as well. They also are going to require that any daycare be tested as well as schools. And this is on top of the other school lead testing that takes place.
Yep.
In addition to that, cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is becoming a big issue. So there's a cybersecurity evaluation that has to take place before the end of the year. So I'll be preparing that paperwork and submitting it to the Dutchess County Department of Health. And they're also requiring a minimum of 4 hours training for every training cycle. So I'm required to have 15 hours of continuing ed every 3 years. 4 of those have to be cyber. One other item, they have not adopted the regulation as of yet, but they're looking to change it prior to 2027, is that what we know now is the annual water quality report, which we publish once a year. Well, if it's good to publish once a year, publishing it twice is even better. So they are making
Twice is good.
They want to make us publish it twice a little bit.
Wow.
Thank you, New York. And other than that, the first quarter bills, were sent out at the beginning of the. Oh, I'm sorry, I also had a brief meeting today with the owners of the Hudson Company, just to talk about potential options or where they currently stand as far as their water situation to provide the potential of providing fire flow capacity to their building. I found out some additional information today, which I didn't know previously. They have indicated that their fire flow capacity based on the occupancy of the building, the square footage of the building, their requirement is 1,200 gallons per minute, which is quite sizable, to say the least. And because of that, it looks like they'll have to run a 12-inch main from Lake Road down to their site to be able to provide them the water. We did confirm through the fire hydrant testing that we did that there's ample water capacity based on the existing 12-inch and 10-inch lines that are at the intersection of Route 82 and Lake Road. But again, the older mains heading south are of smaller diameter. So they anticipated that they may have to run a new line along the westerly edge of 82 to then provide enough capacity to their facility.
And so the lines running to Stewart's are,
That's
What's
adequate
up?
for their use. Again,
are they sprinkled?
They are not. Yeah, they are not sprinkled. What I did mention to the owner, my understanding is that the planning board just received an application for a grocery store. If that grocery store is going to need a fire
Sprinkle.
suppression system, which again, based on the size, I'm thinking that it might. The existing water line in front of that building is not going to be able to provide that. So perhaps they can partner together and share the cost. Because that would bring it down to railroad, and then Hudson Company would just need to pick it up from railroad going south. And I also recommend that they reach out to any state representatives that they may know.
Yeah.
To see if there's any opportunity of obtaining.
Or even county planning, maybe? Ron
My
Hicks?
understanding is that they may have
think
already
they-
received some
Yeah.
funding from county planning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it may not fall into their proposed schedule, which is a very aggressive schedule. He's
Yeah.
indicated that he's hoping to break ground this summer, and I said, quite honestly, I don't think that's gonna happen, because if you haven't submitted a plan to the Department of Health as far as a water improvement, it's not gonna get approved in 3 months. Not with the Department of Health.
so if the property where Leah's Mountain View is becomes a restaurant, wedding venue, residential opportunities and stuff like that, are we gonna have to do a 12-inch line out there too?
They're probably grandfathered in, right?
Maybe
Not if there's a
Yeah,
new owner, and if
Yeah,
it's,
so
and if
my
it's more than a
understanding is
year,
that- So if technically, if that building is sat for over 12 months.
Yeah.
Time that and being unoccupied,
uh-huh,
and if they're changing the use, it would have to conform to current standards.
Yeah.
Now, again, I don't know the ins and outs as far as the square footage of the existing building and what the proposed use is, whether that would trigger having to put a fire suppression system in.
right,
But again, if they expand upon the use, if a fire suppression system is required, then maybe that's a third partner that could help
Mhm.
contribute as far as offsetting costs or sharing costs between the three properties.
and in your opinion, is this cost more or less or the same as them having holding tanks?
Less.
Less,
Yeah, we discussed it very briefly. So, one of the concepts that they looked at was running a new 12-inch line, approximately 900 feet. That would bring them to the southerly entrance of Stewart's. That would get them to their property line, because that's where their property line
Mhm.
ends, the northerly extent of it. The engineer then indicated that they were then going to still have to have a fire pump because they were gonna run through the 6-inch line.
Mm.
And I said, well, why would you do that if a fire pump is gonna cost you $175,000 to $200,000? Why not just run the 12-inch line an extra 200 feet? And put it right to the building?
Now
Because
that-
otherwise, that's gonna be a high maintenance cost, because annually that fire pump has to be tested, has to be certified. In 20 years, it's a mechanical item, it's gonna have to be replaced.
If you're lucky, 20 years.
Yeah, exactly.
And so I have the same question about someone came before the planning board, with a proposal for apartments where, the Heaven Light Bakery and where the
wash.
PT,
Old Chinese
Where the car washes.
yeah. So they came before the planning board with an apartment proposal. Are we talking about a 12-inch line there too? Because I mean, that's,
Yeah,
That
so, I don't know the size of the building. So again, no, normally with the residential, what's driving the very large diameter size associated with this project is the fact that it's a highly combustible.
It's
because we're
wood.
talking wood.
yeah.
And that's for the square footage. So those two items in and of itself are what's driving that 1,200 gallon per minute. Well, generally speaking, when you're looking at apartment buildings and things of that nature, it's much lower. It's sitting about 500 gallons per minute or something.
Are they gonna have to sprinkle that building, you think, in your opinion?
Which,
The apartments?
I don't know the size of it. I don't know anything about.
I don't know the size either.
Size of that.
Yeah.
But if they run a 12-inch line and that gets it to pilch and that assists in providing additional fire flow, then perhaps at least they can also contribute.
Right. It takes a village.
He also asked whether the town has ever contributed to making an improvement like this, where a developer has required it, and not, the only instance that I remember within the town of Pine Plains
Mhm.
is that, years ago, when the school district was, planning for the construction of their bus garage, they needed to have, fire suppression into that building, to meet the state standards as far as school, buildings. And so the town was also undertaking a design of the Route 199 West portion from the center of the town out to
Poplar.
Poplar, yeah, out to Poplar, where we replaced that entire lane on Route 199. So what the town did, the town covered the cost of the engineering, since they were doing the engineering on that other section anyway. So they were going through that process with the health department. So that I just indicated in that instance, the town did cover the cost of the the design, survey, and construction oversight. But the school paid for the actual construction of that wiring. So I said, that's the only instance that I recall where there was a, if you would, cost share.
Do we know when was that? What year was that?
I can find out.
We can look it up.
I-
We can look, right?
Yeah, I have that back in.
Yeah, it was
I wonder how
10 or
much,
12.
Yeah. I was gonna
you
say.
remember how much it was?
No, I do not.
I could say that it's 5 years and I'm so old now, I believe it's like 10 or,
I probably have fun, I have.
but yeah, I have the records of it because I have the as-built drawings, so I
Yeah,
can find
I
out.
will.
and let you know. That's it for water.
It's well over 10 years.
Yeah,
That's.
The new bus garage?
yeah.
It's well over 10 years because I've been there 10. It was there first. Police department.
And for the police department, got a copy of our stuff. Talk about, I was contacted by Axon again, how we were talking about, I wasn't here last meeting, I've been going to supervisor's course, which is finishing up this meeting. So they reached out to me to talk about the demos that we were talking about, I believe in February, about the Axon, translator and the report writing. I was wondering if they all made a decision on it, so I can contact them back.
I think we're kind of in the same boat that we were before, is that we have absolutely no idea what the expense will be with this, and you guys already have cameras, so you know, you're just getting a translator more than anything.
And
You know,
report writing. I
And,
mean,
and report writing, so I think we really need, I need to see numbers of some
wait.
kind to know
I
what.
thought there were numbers. I thought.
Well, the numbers, from my understanding, the numbers that we're gonna have to see and where the real price is gonna be on the tech side of it. So we'd have to contact who does all the, you know, the data keeping for that is pretty expensive.
Right.
So that's who we need to get
Do you
numbers
have that
from,
information?
not from Axon.
The way I understood it was you're using the existing
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's another, but it's another package, which is gonna come with another price tag.
Do you know what it is?
Not offhand.
But you can provide it.
Yeah.
Great.
Just seeing if, a little bit more. So the Axon rep asked me, and I told him that I wasn't at the last board meeting, like I said, I was at supervisor's course. And, I just wanted to give him a heads up, see if you thought about anything. I can get the numbers, they're probably downstairs. Forward, I just got, like I said, been doing the Chatham, 3 days a week.
So
Yeah,
you could just email
just
that
email us,
information
yeah.
to us
Yeah,
and
that
then,
would be fine.
yeah, that'd be great.
Also, Lexipol contacted me about a demo about like wellness of officers. I just got the information, I wasn't able to print it out. It's just pretty much dealing with PTSD, stuff like that, officer hurt, how to help them along and stuff like that. So, I'm gonna get the information for that, that's like a demo. Once again, I'll offer it to, everybody in the public. Well, I'll see first if they'll allow public, but, you know, and then town board members, I'll ask. But, like I said, just talked to them today before I got in here and I didn't print out the information. Oh, and Jonathan's doing very well in the academy. He's on his second half. He's supposed to graduate May 6th.
Yeah.
We've had 11-8 now. From the main college.
Awesome. Thank you, Stevie. Everybody received the animal control report. We had 9.5 hours of admin time, received 2 calls, 2 miles traveled, 1 complaint investigated. CAC.
Well, okay. I guess
That
I'm
would be on.
reporting on the
new business, I
CAC.
think, Yeah, but,
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's what I thought. Now,
yeah,
basically, what,
Whatever you wanna do.
well, you're still the chair, so, uh,
yeah,
but you're still on the CAC. So you're here representing them.
So, last meeting, elected a new chair, that you'll hear about later. We're discussing about how to prepare for the NRI funding, which we hope to get in May. I think. We want to make sure that we can hit the ground running. We'll have 3 years to spend that money. We really want to do it as positively as possible. We discussed, I want to say Community Day, if that's the right term. And we floated the idea of having a tree map. Maybe not even Community Day that would identify, it was interesting or historic or big or crazy trees, map them on the town and then provide a way for people to look at them.
That's a great idea.
A self-guided historic tree plans. And if anyone's interested in nominating a beautiful tree in their yard, happy to include them. And Lauren says that she will be able to be at these meetings. I mean, she has a family of those.
yeah,
Excellent. Thank you.
thank you.
I know.
Do you have a letter for your resignation just to file with Madeline?
So I thought you didn't, okay, I have it, I do have. it.
All right, if you could just forward that over to Madeline.
Sure,
And then, and we all did receive the letter from Lauren,
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
yeah, who, the new chair.
Chair members, do we have to accept her resignation to be able?
Gonna do it right now. Can I get a motion to accept Gail's resignation as chair?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And then I need a motion to appoint
Lauren.
Lauren Kaplan as the new chair.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Boom.
And you'll forward that letter over to her, or if you, okay. Recreation, we don't have anything tonight. Mr. Coons was just getting over pneumonia.
Yeah.
Um,
Could you, Brian, could you just officially say the thing about the adult swim, because
I
Brian
have it, I have
Coons-
it,
It's,
I have it.
it's on,
It's coming up.
it's coming up.
It's coming up. It's coming up. It's there. It's coming up. I have it for approval.
Yeah.
It's there.
We've waited.
Um, Beautification Committee.
Hi, Vicky, welcome back.
Back, Vicky.
You brought the warm weather. You did.
It's this time of the year when, actually the garden club does the town barrels, which, the garden club always did it through the town. Their money was received through the beautification line on the budget, which now is the beautification, committee line. And so the garden club came to us because they would like to do the barrels, but being that we hold the money now, they, you know, came to discuss it with us. We are, the garden club is in agreement, the beautification committee would like us to use bigger sized plants. We have 22 barrels plus the two now new huge planters in front of the town clock. So the increase, we definitely would need an increase in money, because the price of plants, soil, which we're getting. So we would like to, being that there's the $500 cap on, we'd like to be able to go and get the plants, but we'd like to have approval that we can take out over the $500 minimum out of our line item before, so that we can actually get a tax break.
Do you have an approximate what you're thinking? Rough, it can be high.
We're kind of on the high side because of the price of everything.
Yep.
And it was around $1,500.
Okay,
But it's gonna make Pine Plains beautiful.
so let's do this. I make a motion, or I'm requesting a motion that we approve them up to $2,000.
That's great.
To-
I think we,
I just want to be high because of the prices of everything going all over the places every second. Can I get a motion to
I'll
approve
make
them
that
up to
motion.
2,000?
Second,
All in favor?
Aye.
go and buy the flowers, I get a price, will I be able to bring it here and get a check?
Yes.
I mean, it would be like, we don't wanna wait till, I mean, we're going this month or the beginning to the next board meeting.
right.
That's
Where-
why we're.
Where do you go for that? You go, I mean, somewhere that you can,
We try and go local. We were hoping this year to use Emily Miller, but she's not doing flowers this year. So we try and use the local place.
I mean, so it's feasible to, in a day, go there and then come back and with the receipt, get the check cut by.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
And we can do that, Brian?
yes.
Do I have to give Corinna notice about it?
We just need to know how much so she can make out the check
Okay.
and then I'll sign it.
And she should bring that information to you.
Yeah, you can send it over to me. Yeah, yep.
Perfect.
Excellent.
Can you keep us updated on when you might need assistance or if you need assistance with the planters? Which should be easier than last year. I remember I saw Keith and a couple of people, you know, when they replaced the new ones,
Oh, yeah,
but you have that,
pictures are there.
Yeah, but- so you have everything on.
Yeah.
I believe the garden club, she said, is gonna actually
Just
do
doing
the
the
planning.
planting. Okay.
Yes.
So, don't worry, if we need.
And the
Else,
plant,
I was eating lunch and I looked out the window and I saw Keith just digging through the old planters in there, pulling out. Good.
And the plan is to, the garden club has picked May 21st, which is the Thursday before Memorial Day, so everything will look fabulous for Memorial Day.
Okay.
There was
Old-
one other
Oh.
thing that I just wanted to bring up about that it was an idea. I just want to put it out there. It's really premature maybe to make a decision about, but the beautification committee talked about I think we're having 2 days of trash. What did we call those?
Cleanup day.
Cleanup days, thank you. And so the beautification committee said, wouldn't it be nice if we could assemble a sort of group of volunteers that maybe have flatbed trailers or something like that, and some muscle to go along with it, so we can go to locations in town and people's homes in town that maybe can't lift up the 5 gigantic stumps that they want to get rid of, or the metal, bed frame or something, that people might need that kind of help. So just an idea to help people take advantage of those cleanup days.
What do I have?
That's it. Community day?
Old business,
You want to talk about community day? Can I talk about community day?
under, old business, you can, yep, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, we're in old business right now. Go ahead.
Okie dokie.
What coincidence?
Community day, the community day committee met just Tuesday evening, and there's a tentative schedule. We're still in desperate need of volunteers for setup, breakdown, schlepping, emptying garbage, things like that. So please contact me or contact Lenora Champagne. Those email addresses are in the newsletter that's online, that's on the website. So there are a lot of things, wonderful things planned for kids and adults, some flea market type stuff, some artisan markets, children's art show, animation workshop, and things like that all around town. And it's my understanding that there will be a free breakfast at 9 a.m. at the firehouse.
Yeah. 9 to 11.
9 to 11. We have some music already booked. We have not-for-profit organizations setting up informational tables. If anybody knows of anybody else that's interested in doing that, please reach out. June 13th. Save the date. The library is doing several activities related for Community Day too.
The historical societies.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
I do want to mention about the library, a couple things about the library. Oh, you want that? That's an old business. Never mind. I'll wait.
CSC grant.
Like Gail said about that grant, we're still on hold waiting for them to issue the contracts for both the Climate Smart Community Grant and the TAP grant. That's the one for the sidewalks, drainage, and that sort of stuff. We're waiting for that review. Well, you're waiting for the contract. We're waiting for the contract for the Climate Smart Community. We're waiting for feedback about the TAP grant. Then the ADU grant, the accessory dwelling unit, I spoke to the person coordinating it today at Hudson River Housing. They were supposed to have their final review of the applications by yesterday, but that hasn't been accomplished. So any day now, they will have that final review. And I will hopefully then learn if our 3 folks that have taken advantage of that grant or have applied for that grant are moving forward. So, fingers crossed.
So it sounded like you took care of A, B, and C all in one shot.
I did. Yeah. It's kind of like, we don't know. We're waiting. We don't know. And we're waiting. Something I'm really good at, waiting.
Library.
I can speak about the library, Deanne, or do you want to?
I just want to thank you for giving us permission to use the basement. It was a phenomenal success. We had 31 kids and a number of adults who took advantage of cardboard day. And
Wow.
Giant Wagner worked like
Yeah.
a Trojan to get that place cleaned up. We had a whole team of people, but we got it cleaned up and they had a great time. And we would really like to use it again because we are running at capacity on our kids club, Monday through Thursday.
Yeah, there's a great picture of the cardboard activity. And so, I'll put a pitch in to get recreation to clean out that old wrestling material and.
I think the library did a lot of that heavy lifting where they cut everything up to be a little bit lighter.
There were 2 layers of mats, and
Yeah.
the top layer have been cut up and removed, but there's still a bottom layer of mat that would probably be good to get rid of as well, but we can at least.
The layer that's there currently, you want to get rid
We
of.
could get rid of that too. There's
Yeah.
some other stuff in there that doesn't, I think there's a sink that belongs to the library as well, that was from the remodeling, but there's a lot of stuff in there that doesn't belong to either the Friends or us, so I don't know.
No, are we gonna have any? I know we have the little kids, we have the littler kids down there and everything. Are we gonna have anything on the ground to
Yeah,
protect
it's
them
kinda-
from the concrete?
Yeah, I was like, what?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Oh, so
The
like
floor.
carpets and things?
Yeah.
Well, we have one mat down there now. I'm just worried about them being the littler kids running around or they get moving, they trip fall on the concrete. I don't wanna see them get hurt.
Right, we could possibly we need some sort of, there's a tripping hazard right now because there's about a 2-inch where the mat starts and then the concrete,
Okay.
and so we could find some sort of wedge to go in there to help stop that from happening. But right now, the back mats, there's still a second layer
Yeah.
of matting on the back part of it, because we couldn't get rid of that. So there's the front, we could possibly use the main mat that's out there, but there's still some more mats on the second layer
Okay.
we need to get rid of. So
Have you been down there with no mats and a bunch of children screaming down there? I would,
do a lot.
Sound mitigation.
yeah,
Walls. Yeah.
okay.
But you're absolutely right. There's that thing.
I think if we were to use this more regularly in the future, there would be a whole lot of planning that would have to go into making sure that everything.
Yeah, I'm just worried about them running around and hitting the concrete and everything.
Just getting that initial mat would be great. The secondary mat
Yeah.
would be great to get rid of. So
Okay.
we could absolutely just use the.
Just glue it to the wall and they could just run around.
But it was absolutely wonderful down there.
There's something else that we were supposed to be.
So you were gonna send me an email about something about insurance. And then, also, the gutters need to be cleaned out. I don't know if we've made progress on that. We also were talking about that there's a grant through Dutchess County for, maybe making some things ADA compliant, things like that, but it's not enough. Well, maybe you can weigh in, Ray. The max you can apply for is $25,000 and it's a 50-50 match, to replace the ramp. I don't think that's right. No way, no how. So never mind that. But maybe at least we did last month talk about at least a repair, so that coming from the parking lot onto the ramp, there isn't that lip that people can't get over. Oh, I don't know that.
Carl,
Did you do that, Carl?
In the next week for a company that will grind that lip off.
Great. And then, so there's still the gutter issue and then the catch basin issue? Yeah. Is
And-
still,
which we have gotten quotes on that. We're just waiting for him to put it in the schedule.
who's he?
Mr. Koch,
Great.
he came out and looked at it.
I mean, the gutters we need to have a lift for that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, so I don't know. What do we do about a lift?
I could bring somebody by there tomorrow to look at it.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Cause they're gonna have to get on the backside too. I
know.
don't know how
With
they're
a
gonna get a lift.
With a small like spider lift.
I don't
Like
think it'll reach high enough for stability wise.
100 foot.
It might. Yeah, just let me take a look at it. Is that all you had?
That's all I have, I
Alright.
think. Am I remembering everything?
We're gonna go into new business. Do you wanna touch on the dark sky before I get into this whole list of
Of what?
approvals that we
Oh,
have?
yeah,
for this?
okay. So, a number of us, I think maybe all of us, were contacted about the dark sky, it's a tongue twister for me, a dark sky compliant lighting. And that it, specifically on South Main Street. So the lampposts that are around the park and the bank and behind the bank, you know, the municipal parking lot, they have sort of like a shade on top of the globe. So it does project the light downward, somewhat downward. Our chairperson of the planning board will tell us that it's not perfect, but it's better than those that are on South Main. The ones that are on South Main, are just globes and they shine pretty bright everywhere, up, down, sideways. So the request was, is there something that can be done to bring those lights at least toward compliance of dark sky, night sky, whatever it's called, dark sky. And so I went out last night when it was dark and I looked at them, and there's a variety of brightness in those. And I could see some of it. There are, I think there are 25 of them, and that doesn't include the 4 that are on the entrance and exit of Stewart's. So there's 29 total.
A couple behind the library.
Oh, yeah. And they
I
don't,
think are the towns.
okay, I didn't, those are, you know, you don't notice these things until you do, right? So, what I saw was that about 9 of them have this sort of yellowish hue to them, which seems a little bit less offensive than the other, you know, I don't know, 14 that are very, very bright white. I've spoken to Brian about it. There's some issues, some things that have to do with the bulbs that you can speak more specifically about. We also talked about, so our planning board chairperson sent me a bunch of cut sheets on replacing the top of those. None of them so far have just sort of a shade that can be added to the existing lights. We're wondering if something could be fabricated to add on to that, because replacing the entire top is an enormous amount of money. It's thousands of dollars for each of those lights. So can a shade be fabricated? How much does that cost? We don't know. Maybe a quick solution would be to paint the top of the globes.
And actually, I had a conversation with Kyle
Mm.
from Genoke Electric, and he recommended that as well.
So
Try that by painting the tops of shade, because the shades
So
will come off.
You paint down below the bulb where it emits, and then it's only sending light down.
But the ones on South Main have.
You paint the
the
top.
Top have a
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. So, but you would paint down, right? I mean, if you,
You take the top and you just paint the top
Yeah,
from
Oh.
the inside.
okay.
right. So
Mhm.
it doesn't.
But
Alright.
I recall the manufacturer making the shades.
They're like, aren't they?
Yeah, but they're expensive,
50.
very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So who's
Very.
the manufacturer? Do we know who the manufacturer is? And how can we find that out? I mean, we
Should-
might as well get a
the
price.
ladder. Climb it.
It what?
Should be on the pole.
It's on the pole?
Should be.
Oh, all right. I think I've studied those
You-
poles,
you-
but
I
maybe I
I
haven't.
don't know if there is one though.
Take there's an access cover.
There is an access
Yeah.
cover for electric, yes.
Take that access cover, it should be either in the base of the pole or on the inside of that cover.
Okay.
And I
So,
do-
yeah.
because I remember there were some that we put shades on.
They have to be the ones around
Yeah,
the
by
bank.
the bank, yeah.
Yeah,
You put shades on after they came to us, or they came with the shades?
Shades.
And are they all from the same company? Cool,
Now, this is going back
yeah. Okay,
20 years at least.
yeah.
So whether that manufacturer is still in play or not.
Well, they almost have to be, because the one at the bank is a brand new light post.
and the one by
Okay.
Graham Brush too. The one
Yeah,
by Grand Brush.
because that was the one that someone decided to go straight instead of turning at the light.
Yeah.
I remember in some instances, we looked at retrofitting who
Uh-huh.
had an internal shade that could be had. That's a retrofit. I'll have to bring my screwdriver and take off some of those.
Probably if you looked at a couple of them, you probably don't even need a screwdriver, to be honest with you.
Say that.
Because they don't, well, I mean, they don't line up correctly. You would know, if you looked at it, you would know how to get it off without using a screwdriver.
So once we find that out, we can at least get a price. We can see if it's something that is doable.
Manufacturer that.
Okay.
that might stick.
It might also be something that we could tie into the CAC or something like that, where this is being, greatly pushed by conservation groups, where in my mind, I'm like, could we reach out to,
Mhm.
I have some people at the Audubon or something where we could reach out to them to see if there's any type of funding that exists or can exist. Because, it's something that community could get behind and raise money for. So it's worth going that route too, to see if there's anything out there.
Great.
Or Lauren Kaplan might.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's any other information. Oh, I know. Can you talk about the bulbs?
Yeah, what did I call them? They were, night
Sky compliant.
dark sky or dark sky compliant bulbs, Kyle said were in the lights.
Which ones?
The ones that are oddball colors were
Mhm.
something he had to throw in because when we had town decorating day and the parade of lights, there was a lot of lights that were out and they were the only bulbs he had in stock to get those lights back up and running. He threw them back in. So there are a couple bulbs that are different, that are brighter than what they're supposed to be. So
So I wonder if,
he called them dark sky compliant. If someone can define dark sky compliant to me, maybe they don't have a top to them. They don't light up on the top. They just light up in the acorn. I'm not sure.
I think it's referring to the, Kelvin index as far as
Yeah.
the brightness.
yeah,
Whether it's 3,000 versus
Okay.
5,000. 3,000 tends to be more towards the yellowy side versus 5,000, which is that brighter white.
yeah, so I think that's what I was seeing, the 9 yellowish ones.
So those are probably the replacement ones that I'll put in.
Yep.
If I had to guess.
Okay.
And this sky is nothing new. Dutchess County has had this for a long time. We have in our zoning, when new buildings are put up, we do have, Ray usually checks the lighting on it for us. I know it's in zoning, we do already have this dark sky, basically what the state requires, what county requires. We had it at 3,000 and because at that time, that was the lowest. We spent how many nights down at Stewart's, after the first round down there with them, with their lights. And we finally got them to take out that were lighting the sky. I think the poor guy from Stewart's had to come here 16 times. But that's nothing new.
No, it isn't anything new. I know that, so
But the only
Michael,
peop- So all buildings, the only people who in town who don't apply to it, well, there are several that have never been talked to about their lights in town.
so it's all, the
Something that
planning
I'd
board,
be interested in, because there are some businesses, including one near me, that have got a very bright night lighting and is there, so there are some rules about?
yes, so
Okay.
the planning
Okay.
board will, anything new coming across the planning board, they require the dark
Yeah, this is a
sky
new-
compliant lights. But anything that is already in existence, I don't know how, we could address that really. But anyway, or anything new, and this is what the planning board chair has said, we, the town, should kind of try to address that and abide by that rule because we're requiring new businesses to do it. So
Yes.
in good faith, we should, do it too. So this is what we're attempting.
Who would enforce that?
Code enforcement.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we didn't, last month, we were given a proposal by the ethics board. We have to vote on that today.
I think Warren wants to speak to us in executive session.
We spoke about it last month in executive session.
Okay. He said they couldn't do it. That's what I thought.
No, he didn't say that. He said that, no, according to the law that he wrote, they can.
Okay. All right. Did you wanna?
Why don't we discuss this?
All right, we'll go in there and discuss it. We'll have to vote on it after.
We have a couple other things we have to come out of it. Just have to
Okay.
go on there. All right, so, we need approval for the geese control contract for the beach for 2026 at, $3,183.
What is the
The
contract?
geese control.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Need a motion?
Yep, I need a motion. Can I get a second?
second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need approval to hire Harvey Meglio for the laborer's position at the Highway Department at $22 an hour, as well as sending him to school for his Class B CDL license.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a approval to accept Karen's retirement from the Highway Secretary's position on June 26, 2026?
I'll make the motion, but we're sad to see her go.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get approval to post an ad looking for a new highway secretary so Carl can hold interviews and this will allow time for training?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a approval for the triathlon on June 28th, 2026?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I get approval to appoint Jay Osaski to the bar?
Oh, I'll make that motion.
No second. No
All in
second.
favor?
Aye.
The-
The zoning review one.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Oh, the-
Aye.
And
I don't know what I'm voting for.
here you go. You ready? You ready? I need approval to make the adult swim area part of the beach area.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then I need approval for the rec to purchase one soccer goal, 24-foot wide by 8-foot high by 10-foot deep for $4,599 plus shipping.
So moved.
Do we have a second goal or
They requested one goal.
they requested one goal?
That's what they're requesting, because I asked the same question.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a packet, it's
It's a
a package type of thing, okay.
It's a set.
I'll make
It's
that,
2 sets.
It's one set of 2 goals.
Yeah.
okay.
Is that what they want, or do they want
That's what they.
It's enough,
Okay.
it's
Brian
enough
Kuhn
soccer
died
goals
last
to
night.
make a field.
Yeah.
Yeah,
one
Yeah.
field?
Yes.
Got it. Got it.
I will make that motion.
Can I get a second?
It's already been made.
Okay,
So,
I'll
yeah.
second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Can I get a motion to go executive session to discuss personnel and with the town attorney as well?
I'll make that motion.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then we'll
Are
be
we-
back out.
We will be back.
Second. That's still on.
It's going up.
Can I get a motion to approve Jen Blackburn for rec director at a salary of $11,000 a year?
I so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I get approval to approve Megan Brenner for camp director at a salary of $8,000 for the year?
So moved.
Second?
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need approval for the 2026 beach field trips, Cloverbrook Farm, Zoom Flume, and Renegades Day Camp.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I need approval for the 2026 beach staff, Hunter Atkinson, head lifeguard, and camp aquatics director at $23 an hour. Lifeguards, Jimmy King, Tessa Blackburn, Brianna Blackburn, Luke Blackburn, and Madison Rigo at $19 an hour. Rec assistants, Michaela Blackburn, Griffin Atkinson at $16 an hour. And the beach open Thursday through Tuesday, closed on Wednesdays.
So moved.
Can I get a second?
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I didn't vote. Just.
Um,
Aye.
also did, the, workshop meeting for